everyone, welcome to Ashley's Vintage Journey. I'm Ashley and this is Abigail, and today I have a sewing project that I had seen on SewRena's YouTube page, and I just fell in love with it when she had showed it on her YouTube shorts. I do know she has a breastfeeding way to make it, so if you really want to do something with breastfeeding, you could, I'm going to post a link to her channel so that way you can go and watch it. She has several breastfeeding videos on there with adapting clothes to breastfeeding. Anyway, so here is the pattern. I found it on Etsy. I also will put a link to this down below also, so that way you can also get it if you want to try it. It comes in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. And then I got this pattern to do the shorts. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started into this project. So this is the pattern I got. I will put a description of the fabric and the pattern on this blank sheet. And then this is the fabric I had gotten from the Goodwill. This is the shorts pattern I got. It's S2990 Simplicity pattern. I just used the short pattern. I was going to make the skirt, but I decided not to because I didn't really have enough fabric for it. And here's me cutting out the pattern. So I guess I didn't gather on video, which I thought I did, the bust portion. And here I am, I put the gathered pieces together. I actually did a lining. It doesn't say anything about a lining in the pattern, but I did a lining because I want to be able to wear this without a bra. So I went ahead and put a lining in it so that way it'd be a little bit thicker, which actually I really like how it turned out. Here's where I pinned the bias tape at the top of the bust portion. I did sew all this by hand just because I wanted to be really precise of where the gathers were, although it ended up not working out because I had to take it apart and fix it because it was too large for me.
So here I am sewing up the neck piece. I actually ended up doing this the wrong way, so I had to restart and do it again because I didn't make sure I had it the curve on the right angle. Then I went ahead and snipped all the curves and then turned it right side out. So here's where I am attaching it to the underarm part of the shirt, and it was a little bit difficult because you got to make sure it's straight but also going with the curve. So I ended up sewing all of the tie pieces and side pieces together, and I also did a lining for all of these as well because I wanted to make sure that it was going to be sturdy enough to tie, because this fabric was kind of on the thinner side, so I wanted to make sure it was going to be able to tie up. So I went ahead and made a lining for each side. This, I'm just trying to make sure that it's all lined up properly and that it's facing the right way. And then I just went around and sewed the whole thing together, both the lining piece and the front piece. And then what I did was I snipped into all the curves and then turned it right side out. And here I am doing the hem on the front of the shirt, which ended up being really small because for some reason I could not get them to match up with the side panel, the bust portion, and the strap for the top. It was not lining up. It was too small of a width with the siding, but I ended up making it work. I had to recut the piece twice because it just was not fitting. I had to make it a little wider, but it ended up turning out really cute, and I like the width that it is because otherwise it would have been too small. So I went ahead, and what I'm doing is a French seam. I wanted to make sure that it had like very sturdy stitches, and this fabric was really fraying, so I wanted to make sure that it was all encased and not going to fray it or anything like that. And I am attaching it to the front of the bodice, the side pieces to the front of the bodice here. So that was it for the bodice, and I was done. It was quite a simple make. So here's where I made the shorts. I ended up putting the zipper in by hand because was so much easier, and I was very precise with it. Last time I did these shorts, it turned out all wonky, so I was like, I'm just gonna hand sew it in. It only took me about an hour to sew in the zipper, but here I am sewing in the crotch seam. I am doing a French seam for this one as well, because I wanted to make sure that those edges are tucked in and it's not going to fray, because when I wear these, I want to make sure I can wash them and make sure that they're all nice and not fraying. And Abby wanted to try to help. So here I am sewing up the side seam. I also did French seams on the sides as well. So here I am sewing up the hem of the shorts. I probably should have made like a thicker hem, but I'm not a big fan of the thick hem. I kind of wanted the shorts to be a little longer too, so when I cut them longer, because the last time I made them, they were so extremely short that I only wear them basically to bed now. So I wanted to make sure they were long enough, and with this fabric, this little seam, it was absolutely fine, so it worked out. Here's where I sewed on the waistband to the shorts. Now I flipped it over, and I'm going to hand stitch this in place so that way it doesn't have any seams on the other side of it. And then that was it for the shorts, besides putting in the hook and eyes. Now it's time for the reveal.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that reveal. I love how this turned out. There are a couple things that I might change on it, but other than that, it fits perfect. There is a couple ways I can tie it also to help make it fit a little better, because I did overcompensate the top, because in the pattern it doesn't really specify this piece here, so I just kind of guessed on myself and I kind of guessed wrong, so it was a little big, so I did have to adjust this. And doing that, it kind of made this part a little big, so I did add some snap buttons to help keep it in place, because it ended up being really big. But once the snap buttons were on there, it fit a lot better. But you can also put regular buttons, or you can adjust it to where it's going to fit you perfect. I did have to make this pattern just a slightly bit bigger than their large, on which I just added length to this piece here, the tie. That's all I really added to make it a little bigger. Other than that, the rest of it fit perfectly fine, except for this top piece. I didn't gather enough, and this little binding strip was just a little big. But other than that, it fit perfect. The shorts I had made before, I had used that pattern before, which actually this pair of shorts fits me a lot better, I think, because this time I actually kind of knew what I was doing when I was making it. The first time I did it was the first time I ever made shorts or anything of the sort. So this pair actually fits me perfect, and they're super comfy. I did add two snap hook and eyes at the top, and I hand sewed the zipper in, which actually made it a lot better. I'm kind of really happy with how the zipper is put in. I think this is the first time I actually got a really nice zipper. Yeah, I love how that turned out. The pattern of the fabric actually is exactly like SewRena's. I didn't realize it until after I got home. I found this fabric at the thrift store. It's a bed sheet, which I thought was the perfect fabric for this project, and of course it was the same fabric that she used, and that's probably why I thought it was perfect, because it just looks so adorable on her. But I love it, and I did, yeah, I just love how it turned out. Oh, I know. She must like it too, right? You like it too? But yeah, if I will post links to her channel if you want to go ahead and see her videos. She has so many great videos on there. I absolutely love her videos. But yeah, I will go ahead and post those for you. I'll post a link to Etsy so you can get that pattern, the top pattern. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.